Hello, to bring you back. Bit out of breath because I'll show you in a minute. I just had a proper workout and I am so unfit. Anyway, Bandit went 3 or 4 days ago. It was strange. I did the advert about 3 or 4 days after I put the advert on Auto Trader. Got loads of phone calls all on the same day. They were basically queuing up to come and see it. So anyway, the first one who could make it lived about an hour away. He came down prepared with all his gear on, saw it. He brought his mate with him who was more like me, old school biker, so he knows his Bandits and things. And yeah, he bought it, paid full price, and I managed to sell him the Givey luggage, the Rentec luggage and the backrest that I made for it, and the custom seat that I had done. So I sold him all that on top of the full price of the bike, so that's well chuffed. Anyway, so that's me without motorcycle, which is probably going to be another at least 6 months. It might be next spring now. It's now 2nd of May 21. Yeah, realistically, financially, it's and balance physically, I think it'll just be next year, which is fine. Anyway, so I've still got 2 wheels. I'll show you. Okay, I'm keeping you in suspense because I don't want you to be scared by the immense power of this beast. There you go. That's my ride. I've had this about probably 5 years now, and it always lived at work because we've probably got about 10 bikes down at work because the site is so huge. To get from one area to the next, it can be like a mile away. So anyway, this was given to me by my lovely friend Paul, the electrician, who is also the same guy that gives me Christmas trees with roots on every year after Christmas, because he doesn't have room for them, but they like a natural tree. So he's given me loads of Christmas trees. So Paul is a real cycling enthusiast. He's got a shed literally full of bikes, and he really is encyclopedic knowledge about bicycles. So anyway, many years ago, he went off to a different site, and he said, "Do you want the bike? You can have it." And so obviously I said yes. And then since then he gave me some different rims for it and these tires and all sorts of bits and pieces. And I every year, just once a year, just go through it all and fix it all up. Yeah, it's at least 20 years old. It might be 25, 30 years old. I'm not sure. I've never looked up the model. But this, it's a rally, and it started out life as a mountain bike, and I've sort of converted it a little bit to a road bike. The front gear set derailleur, it gave up, so I've stripped all of the front gear controls. It used to have the twist handles for the gears. On an outage a few years ago, the night shift guys decided to destroy all of the push bikes by trying to do Evel Knievel stunts on a big commercial site. So that went down really well. Needless to say, they weren't with us after the next day. But yeah, they destroyed all the bikes, basically, being idiots. So I stripped all of the gear change parts off of it. Now this is 21 speed, but to be honest, all my cycling I did in my youth was 5-speed max. So what I did is I got rid of all the front change, and I've put the chain just in the middle sprocket. And then on the rear, this was all trashed. It's got 7-speed. So I went to my local cycle shop and bought this little up and down shifter, some new cables and new bits and pieces, and I've nearly got it running 7-speed. I've actually got it running 6-speed. I can't quite get the right tension on it to get onto the first cog. To be honest, it's fine. I never need the first gear. So 2 to 7 in the middle cog seems to be just fine for any cycling I'm doing. I did I did put the rear tyre on back to front when I changed the inner tubes. I used to get a hell of a lot of punctures on this bike at work, and then I fitted these inner tubes with the green slime in them, but I've got a feeling that Paul gave me new rims and then I put the inner tubes in, and he gave me these tyres, so I think it was the old rims for some reason. But anyway, when I changed all the tyres and tubes, I somehow managed to get the rear tyre on backwards, but it doesn't seem to matter really. If anything, you'd want the front tyre with the tread pattern going the wrong way like a motorcycle, and then the rear tyre with the tread pattern pointing forwards. Anyway, I put a big fat tractor seat on it because I can't do that razor blade thing, and that's about it. She's really old, but all of the bearings and everything are solid and she works really well. I did a couple of years ago buy a brand new mountain bike for sight, and I was going to keep this one as a bit of an antique and just use the brand new mountain bike. Well, that brand new mountain bike, okay, it wasn't a really expensive one, but it was brand new. It didn't even last till the warranty ended a year later, and I ended up throwing it in the metal skip out of frustration because it was a pile of poo. That everything went, all the bearings on the whole bike just destroyed themselves within months. And anyway, so there we go. I've just done about 3 miles, just sort of around the block, local area, not in the sky. I've just been all the way around. I've actually had a look at my my back boundary from the other side. It must be at least 10 years since I've actually seen the other side of my boundary from the alleyway behind. I wasn't cycling in an alleyway, honestly, officer. So there you go. That's my steed. I've still got Holly, my daughter's bike in here that she bought last year in lockdown she wanted to have some exercise, and I think it went out once. It got a puncture, so I fixed the puncture, and it's been here ever since. So yeah, I might be able to set this up for Tracy to ride, and then we can have some cycle rides together. But yeah, okay, ain't got a motorbike at the moment, but I'm quite enjoying this. Don't seem to be so bothered about my balance when I'm cycling for some strange reason. I think it's probably concentration. And I need to get fit. I am so unfit. I managed to lose 1.25 stone over the last year or so, but I'd like to lose at least another stone and get me heart working properly and all my bits and pieces. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I had a lovely chrome original bell on this, ding ding ding, but obviously that got destroyed as well, so I might get a hooter for it. And I can see me at some time taking this seat down to Lynn, the upholsterer, and getting her to strip it, gel pad it, and then do some funky seat cover for it, just for a laugh. Because yes, I'm too big, fat and heavy to ride on razor blade seats. And now the sun's gone in and it's just about to rain. I don't know what model this bike is. It's not an aluminium frame. It says chromoly on it. I've put a magnet on it, and the magnet sort of half sticks to it. I don't even know what chromoly is, but yeah, it's a good bike. It's a good sturdy beast. So hopefully I can start going a bit further every day. Luckily, all my appointments now, all my places to go, the hospitals, the chemists, the doctors, are all a mile, 2 miles away at max. So why not just cycle to go and get the stuff, rather than risk driving or cycling, which makes me feel seasick. But for some reason I don't feel seasick on the push bike. So maybe it's because I'm open to the elements. Anyway, thanks for watching. Peace and love. I'll catch up with whatever's next. If I ever find out what model it is, I don't know how I'm going to find that out. I'll let you know. It could be a classic, a cult classic. Cheers, peace and love. I've been Springy.